Okay. When you're solving equations or inequalities of rational, do not multiply both sides by the same uh, factor that contains a variable. So don't cross multiply, in other words. Bring this over, we get this. Let's factor to the bottom here, and we get x squared plus 3. Okay, so note that the top and bottom is the same, but don't cancel out yet, because we actually have to find some complex answers as well. If this was r, like real numbers, then we could have reduced this. But it is possible for us to get some complex answers here. So let's make the common base this. Okay. Okay, and then let's multiply the top by this, and the 2 by x and x squared plus 3. The common factor on the top is x squared plus 3. Then you get x minus 1 minus 2x. Okay, so this will simplify to x squared plus 3. We can factor out a, this is negative 1, so we can factor out a negative 1 to get x plus 1. So what happens with rational functions when you have the same factor top and bottom is it generates a whole. But this is a complex answer, right? With real numbers, this is always greater than or equal to 0. So you can easily cancel down. It doesn't have any effect on the graph. Reiterate, right? X squared is greater than or equal to 0 for real values. So x squared plus 3 is greater than or equal to 3. So because it's always positive, we can just cancel it because we're never reducing. The one time we're not allowed to reduce is when you have 0 over 0. Okay, because that's not, it's not going to be exactly the same thing. That's when you get a hole on the graph. So let's consider when x squared is equal to negative 3. Then you get x is equal to plus minus root of negative 3. Okay, so that is equal to plus minus root of 3i. That's your complex answer. But when you plug this in to x squared plus 3, right, this is the value which makes these two guys both 0. So this is the imaginary value, which for the real value it doesn't even have a hole, but for the complex it does have a hole. But that value, these values are not going to make the numerator or the whole expression equal to 0. It's just undefined here, right? Because we get a hole here. So the only answer is when x plus 1 is equal to 0, which is x is equal to negative 1.